All right, good morning. It is Wednesday, happy hump day, the last Wednesday of the month. Monday we had the superset of the lunge squat series. We had the pushing quad focused dynamic legs, a lot of them. The pulling hamstring focused dynamic legs. You had the chest back shoulder bis tries at least twice. I know Julie stayed on and did that third and final circuit that yielded 300 chest back shoulder bis tries, several hundred legs. You had the middle of exertion time or cardio or reps. Anyhow, we do need to get warm and loose. Today we'll have more of a rhythm workout, something we did about a month ago-ish. Again, I always make the small changes. Let's get warm and loose. 10 total alternating stationary reverse lunges, which you did some of these the other day. Stay loaded on that front non-moving leg. That front non-moving leg is going to pull you back up. 10 total alternating stationary reverse lunges. Take your time and load that front leg. And then you're going to do your 10 standing scissors. You're going to lengthen those muscles you just lunged with, but they've also been relaxed, lengthened while you sit in your office, and then they're relaxed and shortened while you lay in bed all night long, which is kind of a catch-22, right? You can't really change that idea, but when they're relaxed and lengthened and relaxed and shortened, we got a hamstring issue. So, stationary reverse lunges, load them, and then standing scissors, dynamically lengthen them. You're going to do it 3 total times. So round 1 and round 2 and round 3 is your 10 total alternating stationary reverse lunges in combination with your standing scissors, which this is a smidge different warm-up, right? Step, load, pull yourself up with those hamstrings loose. And of course, you do get some quads by all means. 10 total of those, 10 standing scissors. And I want to challenge that motion. You've heard me say that before, challenge motion or exaggerate the motion. Don't just go through the motion, right? Lengthen those hamstrings as you reach and you pop that leg up there and you drop that arm down. Round 3, again, I want to be a little bit ahead of you, okay? 10 total alternating stationary reverse lunges. Step, load, pull yourself up, and the 10 standing scissors to combo with them. There's a lot of motion at your hips, but it feels weird. It doesn't feel like you have to move your hips, but there's a lot of motion at your hips, which means your glutes should always turn on. Breathe again on those standing scissors. Exaggerate the motion. Challenge the motion. Don't just go through the motion. Get out there. Reach as much as you can reach. Breathe. Slow. Steady. When we're done with this part, take your time. I want to be a little bit ahead of you. 10 regular squats. Hips, hips, hips. Glutes turning on. Eyes, you're looking out in front of you. Right, good posture. And that word thighs, reminder, it's a leg exercise, not a back exercise. 10 regular squats. We'll do our 10 standing runners, and we'll do that 3 times. So again, a smidge different warm-up, rhythm day. I don't really think about too much craziness, but good rhythm. 10 regular squats. 10 standing runners. Standing runners is mobility, a little more spine mobility, hips, knees, ankles. Now I know you're not using your upper body by getting your upper body here. Nice good rotation, hopefully some anterior flexibility and anterior activation on the standing runners. Again, I know it's not upper body, but hopefully you stretch out the chest a little bit. 10 regular squats. Feet are hip to shoulder width apart. Toes are always able to wiggle. You're displacing weight with those hips, the posture, your glutes. You're not pushing directly through your heels. and breathe. 10 regular squats, 10 standing scissors times 3 as you do this changed, adjusted warm-up, and breathe, and focus, and work. And again, by this time, right, you kind of start to feel that flushed feeling in the face, right? The blood is flowing a little bit. That's that feeling of being warm. Blood is moving, oxygen in, oxygen out. All right, round 3 of this part. 10 regular squats, 10 standing runners, hips, glutes, eyes, thighs, posture, breathe, focus, challenge the motion. You don't hear me say go lower a lot, but on these squats, load time under tension or physical weight. 10 standing runners, elbows to knees, not knees to nose. Breathe and focus. Mobility. Don't just go through the motion. Exaggerate the motion. Challenge the motion. Breathe. When you're ready, you're going to be on your stationary forward lunge, and that will go with our Jack LaLanne's. The first one was the hamstring glute, a little bit of quads, pulling exercise. This is the quad glute, a little bit of hamstrings, pushing exercise, a little more torque and leverage on your knee, and right, your joint has the lever getting pulled on. A lot more muscle activation. 10 stationary forward lunges, 10 Jack LaLanne's, nice and big. Dynamic stretching on your Jack LaLanne's. And again, we're not doing our upper body per se, but get up there. Get those hands and arms up there. Mobility of your shoulders, stretching out your chest and your abs, using some arms and shoulders as you get big on your Jack LaLanne's. 10 stationary forward lunges, 10 Jack LaLanne's times 3. Step, load, push yourself back is that rhythm that we've talked about so many times. Pushing quad exercises, rhythm is pushing yourself back. Jack LaLanne's, dynamic stretching. I do want you to think about stretching, not just lengthening, which they are different. Breathe, get big, get big. Exaggerate the motion. Challenge the motion of the exercise, and don't just go through the motion. Again, I'm being a little bit ahead of you, hopefully. One more loop, and that'll be the end of our warm-up. Sneaky 180 movements. Probably felt faster. Monday you have 120 movements, and most people said it felt slower. And it's just what you did and how you did them. 10 stationary forward lunges, 10 Jack LaLanne's, the last round of the warm-up, and we are ready to get to work. Oh yes, let's go. Breathe, big, 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 big. Get up, get up, get up, get up. Breathe and focus on this 10 Jack LaLanne's. Happy Wednesday, everybody. We're going to turn the dial up here in a second. I don't mind using that fitness word. I don't mind having high pace. And for the most part, all of our workouts have high pace. It's just the tempo of the lifting will make you feel differently about the exercise. So I don't mind high pace. I don't mind moderate tempo, right? And I can use that word fitness. However, I do want to maintain load to the best of your ability. And load is referring to actual physical weight or time under tension. Now we've done these things recently. I'm just changing the order, changing the mindset. We have 2 big circuits with stuff in between. You got the right side row, whether you want to be cored, right? The core row is not technically balancing. You've got the balance row if you want to work on the balance row. And you've got the loaded row if you want to do a loaded row. Your right side row, we've got the 25 down by 5, done that before. You got your push is always 20. You can do chest or shoulders, you can, or even triceps. You can push with chest, shoulders, or triceps, always 20. So if you want to beat up your chest, do chest. If you want to beat up your shoulders, do shoulders. Or triceps, same thing, it's always 20. Then you're going to have the left side row, 25 down by 5. And then we're going to have our abs. We didn't do many formal abs on Monday. Your abs are always going to be 25 and blah, blah, blah in here. So it does feel like a high rep circuit, but you can diversify your push if you want to. And the rows go down by 5 and the abs are always there. Okay? You ready? 25 right side row. Currently I'm doing a core row. Now, am I unbalanced? I mean, I'm a little unbalanced, but my feet are together. You get low like so many rows you've done, and your core can engage more because you can handle some load, right, time or tension. Right, balancing rows clearly incorporates more balance. You do turn on some core by all means, but you're so focused on the balance aspect that we call balancing rows. And of course your loaded rows, you are supported, and so you can handle the most load, okay? Right side 25 rows, then you're gonna immediately do 20 pushing, chest, shoulders, or triceps. I don't want your motions fast, right? Don't lose motion, right? I don't mind moderate tempo. I don't mind a little bit of, you know, tempo, right? Tempo 2-ish, 2.5 second reps. So when I use that word immediately, don't wait for me. 25 right side rows, load or core or balance. 20 on your push, chest, shoulders, or triceps. You can mix them up or not. And again, immediately, however, make sure the tempo is controlled and the pace is high. You'll then do the left side rows, and then we're gonna pop down and do some abs, okay? Again, your chest. You can do push-ups. Cool. You can do 5 sets of 20 if you want to. That'd be 100 total push-ups. You could lay on something and do chest presses, dumbbell, barbell, machine, laying on the ground, ball or bench. You're pushing chest. You could even do different angles if you have an adjustable bench for inclines if you want to do that. Shoulder presses are even more simple, right? You sit tall or stand tall and you're pushing above you. Pushing is all about positions. They tend to burn more than pulling. And then of course your triceps, you got dips, you've got kickbacks, you've got overheads. So your push can be as diverse as you want, or you can just crush one muscle group if you want to. Again, I use that word immediately, don't wait for me. 25 right side row, 20 on your push, 25 left side row, and then you'll lay down and do 25 sit-ups. You can lay on anything on your 25 sit-ups. Now, you guys don't know me very well. You can clearly crush this thing and go as fast as you want to go. Not really my intent. I wouldn't mind the end of each round. You wait for me and we start the rounds together, but do as you wish. Each round, the ab will change. The numbers on the rows change. The push is up to you. And we have 2 of these style circuits. Blah, 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 blah. 25 right row, 20 pushing, 25 left row. Again, I hope I'm a little bit ahead of you. That way you can have high pace. You can have moderate high tempo, but please maintain your load. And then 25 sit-ups. You could lay on the ground. You could lay on a ball. You could lay on a bench. Your legs can be straight. Your knees can be bent. You can change your sit-up many, 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 many ways. 25 sit-ups. If you find yourself ahead of me, all it means that your either tempo was high or you lost motion. So if you didn't lose motion, cool, awesome. If you did feel like you lost motion, we need to make sure you maintain motion which will adjust your tempo a little bit. I'm not gonna lie, like this is definitely a workout you can crush. This could be a great fitness style workout. There's not a lot of thinking, there's a lot of doing, but there is subtle changes to keep you stimulated. Round one, the rows are 25. The push will always be 20. You had 25 sit-ups, which you'll do again later on. Again, we're gonna keep the thinking moderate low today. Wednesday work day. Round two, 20 right side row is a little bit less. You can change the position or not. 20 on your push, chest, shoulders, or triceps. 20 on your left side row. And when you get there, you've got your reverse crunches, which I hope you knew that was coming. 25 reverse crunches. Again, if I'm a little bit ahead of you, awesome. I want to stay within earshot. I want you to know what to do and crank it up. And if you're watching my rows, right? 1, 1,000, 2, 1,000, 3, 1,000. That is good tempo. That's a safe tempo. Yeah, I could go a little faster, and then I'm going to start creating momentum, and I'm just going to use my arm. I know it's called a one-arm row, but it should be called a one-arm trap row, and that's stimulating your traps. So there is such thing as safe tempo per the exercise. The push is just going to flat out burn, and that's okay. 20 right side row, 20 on your push. Again, you can do chest, shoulders, or triceps. You could mix up your push-ups how you want to mix up your push-ups. You've got regular push-ups, legs straight, knees bent. You've got elevated push-ups. Your hands are up on something, so it'd be an easier position on your push-ups. You've got decline push-ups. Your feet are up on something, and that'd be a harder position on your push-ups. You could even hold a stability ball and do stability ball incline push-ups. So there's lots of little adjustments you can make on that. You can lay on something, chest presses. Your shoulder presses could be there, and triceps. So you can do any push. I don't mind moderate high tempo as long as it stays within the parameters of the exercise. Pushing tempo is easier to be higher. Pulling tempo is harder to be higher. And round two, 20 right row, 20 on your push. I want to be a little bit ahead of you. 20 left row, and then you'll do 25 reverse crunches. Both legs are moving on your reverse crunches. Remember, Monday we had the core ab part of our warm-up, just in case you didn't do it at the end. And I would say out of the 37 people we had online on Monday, I want to say 5 people did the last extra credit circuit. It was a very long workout. Today is hopefully not quite as long. I want you to feel like you're doing everything, because you are. Again, in the spirit of pace, keep working. 20 right rows, 20 push, 20 left rows, and then 25 reverse crunches. Abs are tight. Your body can either be up on your reverse crunch. Notice I'm not saying leg lifts. Your body can be down on your reverse crunch. But reverse crunches, you are lengthening your activated abs or contracted abs. Leg lifts, you start down here, and it's a little more hippie and core. So think about leg lifts as being more of a hip core exercise. I know you get some abs. Whereas labeled reverse crunches, your legs start up and you're lengthening your activated abs and you're contracting your abs. You're lengthening your contracted abs, right? So there actually is the difference between leg lifts and reverse crunches. 25 reverse crunches is round 2. Again, we'll do them again later on. So you can label this is an upper body workout with abs. We'll have some exertion legs in the middle and optional end. In the spirit of being ahead of you, round 3, 15 right side rows. Make sure you maintain or increase load. Your tempo is controlled by the movement. Yes, I could do one arm rows quicker, but then it turns into an arm momentum exercise. It is supposed to be a good back exercise. You also have the core component when you're square and you're loaded. You have a balance component if that is of interest to you. And then you have a supported load component based on how you're feeling and what you need. 15 right side row. You've got your 20 on the push always. Again, you could beat the heck out of your chest, shoulders, triceps. You can mix them up as you wish. Preview for the next circuit. You'll be doing your stability pushing. We'll talk about chest or shoulders on that one. The body position. You'll have your pulling, so you have the opposite. And then we're just going to repeat our abs. That's the second main circuit. Round 3, 15 right row, 20 on your push, 15 left row, and then you'll have your laying on something, 25 toe touches. And all these things you've done. When you don't have to think about it, pace can be very high. Tempo is controlled by the movements. I don't mind moderate, high tempo, as long as you're trying to maintain load to the best of your ability. A little bit of work on a Wednesday. When you get to those abs, your legs are up, abs are tight. You have shortened your abs with the position, and then you shorten your abs even more on the toe touch. And a lot of people are like, oh, toe touches is so easy. A, slow it down, and B, challenge the motion. Don't bob your head, but reach for those toes. You've got spine mobility, major factor. Posterior muscle flexibility, hamstrings, glutes, and back. Huge factor. And then you have simply the activation of your abs. You have shortened a shortened muscle. 25 toe touches. So yeah, they may not be as hard as the other ones, but they should burn. Some people will even cramp up on the toe touch when they challenge the motion and they slow it down because that muscle gets really, really, really short. And then there's that cramp. Just like if you ever have a cramp in the hamstring. It doesn't cramp when it's elongated, right? It cramps when you're doing that step and it shortens, or your legs behind you and you're sitting down funny. That's when a cramp will happen, when your muscle is really short. And then it gets confused. It's like, am I supposed to contract or am I not supposed to contract? What am I doing? Round 4. Remember, I want to be a little bit ahead of you. If you find yourself even with me or ahead of me, cool. It better be because of pace and your tempo, not because you lost motion or load. Round 4, 10 on your right side row, 20 on your push for the 4th time, 10 on your left side row, and then you'll have your 25 victory V-ups. V as in victory. You've done that before. And again, maintain or increase load, physical weight, time under tension. Those are huge factors. When you're on that 4th set of your push, it can be the same muscle group or not, but tempo can naturally increase a little bit on a push. Maintain motion, let it burn. Of course, based on what you're doing will determine your overall pace. Balancing rows should take a little longer. Loaded rows could be a long time too because of how much load you can have, and you got to get in and out of position safely. Laying on something, chest press, and adjusting your load. So many little changes. Round 4, 10 right row, 20 on your push, 10 left row, 25 on your V-ups, V as in victory. You could be on the ground or bench on your V-ups. And when we do V-ups, I primarily show you and want you to do the big V-ups. The body V-ups, however, that is hard. Bench V-ups exist for 2 reasons. You can either add more motion because of extension, or you can get rid of motion. I'm not on a bench, but you'll see a lot of bench V-ups like this, and that's primarily because of your back and your hips. V-ups are hard. They are a hard ab exercise. They're not the best ab exercise. Mobility of hips and spine and flexibility of posterior muscles. So if those things don't exist, the real big V-up can't exist. It'll hurt. So that's why you'll see bench V-ups, and they're a smidge different. 25 V-ups on round 4. And again, this is definitely a workout you can just turn the dial up. Maintain load, maintain motion, small rep changes on the rows. You can crush a muscle group or not on a push. You got diversity if you want it. Abs are changing to keep you stimulated. Right pace is high, tempo moderate high. Round 5, I want to be a little bit ahead of you. If I'm too far ahead of you, let me know. Or if you're watching the recorded version, right, push pause. Round 5, 5 right side row, last balancing or core or loaded row. Last 20 push, the burn on the push. 5 left row. Then you have your 25 Supermans preferred. You can do swimmers if you really, really, really need to. 5 right row, 20 on your push. 5 left row, 25 Supermans will be the end of circuit. We'll then have just a little leg middle just to stimulate the sole. Then we'll have the opposite style circuit. Wednesday. Stay awake, stay with me. Tempo, moderate high, pace, high. Small adjustments keep me stimulated. Round 5. 5 right row, 20 on your push. 5 left row, 25 Supermans preferred. It can be swimmers. Why Supermans? Well, we have a 90 degree and a 45 degree hyperextension, which are easier positions for your strength training lower middle back. The position of Supermans is hard, so you don't get a ton of motion. Again, the position is what people don't like. Up back, middle back, lower back, glutes, some spine mobility, but it really is the muscle contraction strength training exercise, where swimmers, they're great. Yeah, there's some strength training by all means, but you got a little more mobility. You get a little more up back, middle back activation. Not quite as hard. And again, if you hate the position, you can also do your hands and knees prone swimmers. 25. But again, I prefer Supermans because I want you to think about the strength training, the muscle contraction, Superman versus that really hard position. And again, if you have a 45-degree hyperextension at home, that's something that we can do here for your lower back, your middle lower back muscle. Of course, it's not formally an ab, but the more that spine can move forward and backwards, the stronger these muscles are. You rock and roll. All right, just so I'm a little bit ahead of you, remember we do have that circuit that's kind of the opposite of what we just did, but I want to stimulate the body a little bit. You can hold weight or not. I don't really want to label it as exertion, but you can exert. I just want 100 legs, right? We've done 100 calories, we've done 100 exertions, we've done hundreds of this and that. When you do your legs, you can diversify to any leg, any squat, regular, wide, narrow, stiff-legged RDLs, any lunge, any alternating step. I don't have a stability ball, but stability ball squats. If you're at the gym, right, you have your leg presses. 100 reps, 300 seconds. That would technically be 5 minutes of work. However, with a little bit of a tempo, you can't say pace because there's no formal rest, right? With a little bit of tempo, a little bit of weight changes, a little bit of movement changes. Let's just say we're gonna do about 4 minutes of legs, so 4 to 5 minutes of legs, okay? Regular squats, wide squats, narrow squats, ball squats, right? You got leg presses here, your alternating legs. Any lunge, forward, reverse, lateral, single leg stiff-legged, step ups. Again, you got 100 legs to do. A little bit of upper body rester. We've got abs in our circuit. You've done plenty of exertion. Monday you did the 250s, so you had the 300 exertions, or you had the 3 minutes of cardio. Good focus. Remember, I don't mind a little bit of tempo. I mean a little bit, but safe tempo. Like if I lose motion on my squats, that's how my tempo increases. 1, 1,000, 2, 1,000, 1, 1,000, 2, 1,000. Like you really can't go any faster than that on the squat, regular, wide, or narrow. Stiff-legged or even slower. 1, 1,000, 2, 1,000, 3, 1,000. Like it just needs to be a little bit slower because it's safer. If you just bend over and stand up, you're gonna hurt yourself. Your lunges, same thing. 1, 1,000, 2, 1,000, 3. 1, 1,000, 2, 1,000, 3. Like the safeness of the exercise. 100 total, technically non-stop legs. You can mix them up. Any alternating motion, any non-alternating motion. Weight is preferred. Tempo is moderate. And that would give you 200 to 300 seconds of work. Again, I'm diversifying just so you see all the things you can do. Regular squat, wide squats, narrow squats, ball squats, stiff-legged RDLs. I do that slash for the both leg ones, the single leg ones. When I say stiff-legged deadlifts, people assume I did mean the single leg. Any alternating legs. Tempo, moderate. Tempo adjusted and controlled to the exercise you're doing. Oh yes. Keep it going. I know you're working. It's Wednesday. It's work day. Now you should still be doing those 100 legs. I think I did like 50 or 60. We're not starting the next circuit yet. However, I'm just going to start talking about it a little bit. Nothing will imbalance you if you can't finish this circuit. okay? You would want to save it for later on or tomorrow for the overall body balance per se. But earlier was the one arm row, right side, left sides are already done. You're pushing, right? You've already comboed a pull and a push, so again, not too worried. A nice good burn. You did all those abs, so again, nothing will imbalance you right side, left side. But the next circuit, we have our pushing, single arm pushing, whether it's stability or not. You would lay on something for a single arm press, chest press, or you sit tall or stand tall for a single arm shoulder press. Again, I'm going to show you all these things. You can do stability components or balance components or not. You'll have the pulling with either lat pull overs. You could stay on the ground the whole time if you want to. You've got chest flies, that's a pulling exercise. So you could do a superset, I'll talk about that when you get there. You got bent rows, trap rows, which you did the other day, or possibly did the other day. You got bicep curls, you upright rows. There's so many things, and I'll talk about how you can do just chest or you could do just shoulders. But the key is we're going to go through all the abs again. So very, very similar circuit. I don't want you to think very much, but you do have positions that can change. So I'm going to get moving on so you see all the changes. Okay? If you're not there yet, I actually applaud your 100 legs. Good job. When you do chest press, you can lay on the ground, you can lay on a ball, you can lay on a bench, you can do non-stability exercises, you can do an iso hip bridge for core stability, you can have your legs in the air for more stability. Hear the difference, core stability and more stability, right? You can do any laying down on anything chest press. That would be your 25 down by 5. You could stay here and do chest flies. That would be a superset of chest. You could stay on the ground and do lat pullovers so you don't have to get off the ground, right? Those are choices. Your sitting tall, standing tall, shoulder press, right? Kneeling tall, there's some core. Standing tall would be probably the easiest position. You can even balance on one leg if you wanted to work on some balance components, right? There's so many adjustments on that shoulder press if you want it. So you really have the two different main positions of the pushing. I hope you're already going if you want to be going. You're pulling, right, laying on the ground, chest flies by Rob, laying on the ground, lat pullovers. You've got standing tall, upright rows. So there could also be a superset of shoulders with the shoulder press and your upright rows. So then you're pretty much off the ground the whole time except for your abs. You've got bicep curls, you got shoulder raises. Remember, there's a lot more movements when you pull. There's more positions when you push, okay? Round 1, 25 right side push. Always 20 on your pulling. Again, I hope you've already gotten started. 25 left side push, and then you have your 25 sit-ups, which you won't do again today. And today that would yield 250 abs for the most part. And then you have the single side pulling and single side pushing, and you have the 100 pushing and the 100 pulling. Plenty of work, right? Again, just so you hear it, I know I'm in a different spot from where you're at. 25 right side push, 20 on your pulling, chest flies, lat pullovers, upright rows, bicep curls, shoulder raises. You have options of supersetting if you want it, not if you don't. 25 left side push, and then you have your 25 on your sit-ups you won't do again. So, a lot. Now, the first circuit was meant to wake you up, stimulate the soul. You didn't have to think, right? You just got after it. I did this circuit now because I have to talk a lot. There's a lot of changes, but once you know what to do, go get it done. If you want other things, please let me know. So my rhythm might be different from yours. Again, I'm just going to show you a bunch of different things. Your stability push, your legs are in the air if you're laying on the ground or bench. You've got core stability if you're going to do an iso hip bridge. You can lay on a stability ball. There's lots of little changes you could do on your single side push. Chest laying on something. Shoulders, you could sit tall, kneel tall, stand tall. You got the pushing 25 down by 5. Your pulling is always 20. Round 1, 25 sit-ups. Round 2, if you're there, 20 right side push, 20 on your pull, 20 left side push, 25 on your reverse crunches. I know we are in different spots, and that's okay. Right now is your time to get after it. Remember, pace can be very high. You can turn that dial up. You can right, you can pull, you can left, you can ab, and you can just go. Tempo can be moderate high as long as you don't lose motion. Pushing exercises can have an easy higher tempo because of the lengthening component. Pulling exercises are harder to have a higher tempo because of the lengthening component. You'll get hurt if you don't focus on the lengthening component. Round 2, 20 right side push is a little bit less. Standing tall, I'm getting some core, but you could change your feet and not get core, right? You could have a loaded power exercise. You could work on your balance if you want to work on your balance. You could sit on a bench or stability ball if you wanted to change your positions. The movements are basically exactly the same. What are you laying on? What are you sitting on? What are you standing on? But you're pushing either in front of your body or above your head. 20 right side push. 20 pulling. Again, laying on something flies so you don't have to ever get off the ground. Pullovers, standing tall upright rows. Again, you have possible supersets between your chest and shoulders. Bicep curls, shoulder raises. Pushing, pulling, abbing, working. Enjoy it. Go get it. If you're ahead of me, awesome. That means you knew what to do. You turn the dial up. Pace is high. Tempo's moderate high. You don't have to think. You're just doing. If you're right with me, awesome. If you're a little behind, awesome. Please let me know if you get confused. Round 2 is your 20 right push, 20 on your pull, 20 left push, 25 reverse crunches. Round 3, 15 right push, 20 on your pull, 15 left push, 25 on your toe touches. Breathe, focus, work. And I always say it respectfully, just don't think, just go do it. Don't hurt yourself, right? You gotta be mindful of what you're doing. But if you're like, oh, what should I do next? Boom, your pace will stop and slow down. Then you get discouraged because you're trying to be creative, and I love it, I love it. Sometimes you just gotta pick that movement, pick that position, and work hard. Remember, a lot of these things are based on the tools you have, the space you're in, right? If you have a mat and a pair of dumbbells, right? You might have to make your decision based on what you have to work with. Round 3, again, I hope you're there somewhere, starting it, finishing it, maintaining motion, maintaining load. cranking up the pace, adjusting your tempo to the exercise. Round 3, 15 right push, 20 on your pull, 15 left push, 25 toe touches. Core, stability, pushing, there's balancing, there's non-balancing. Moral of the story is you're focused on you. You could superset a single arm press with your chest fly. You could superset a single arm shoulder press with an upright row or shoulder raise. Whereas earlier, there was no superset possibilities because trap rows, they are a mandatory pull and your combo was a push. Whereas your chest can push and pull, your shoulders can push and pull. Again, so you hear the numbers. Round 3, 15, left, right push, 20, pulling, 15, left push, 25 toe touches. If you're ahead of that, cool, maintain motion, you'll be on your 10 right push, your 20 on your pulling, and your 10 left push, and your 25 V-ups. Pace, 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 turn that thing up. Minimal thinking. I love creativity by all means, but if you start changing things, you're going to confuse yourself, then you get lost. And then you yell at your trainer for giving you confusing workouts. Whereas you can just say, hey, I'm going to focus on that single arm stability press and the lat pull over and rock and roll and keep it simple and work. Round 4, when you get there, I hope I'm a little bit ahead of you or right with you. It's okay if I'm a little behind you because the rhythm of the circuit started differently. Round 4, 10 right push, 20 on your pulling, 10 left push, 25 V-ups, V as in victory. Definitely a workout that one day, let's just say, you're brand new to working out. You could have a warm-up, the circuit 1, and the legs, and let that be your 30, 35-minute workout. You could have day 2, get up and do the same warm-up, do this circuit, and then you finish off with your 100 legs or exertion, and that could be another workout. So there's 2 back-to-back days, and you get in the rhythm. And that's one thing I have to do on the back end is when I send these things to new people. Hey, watch this video. You're brand new to working out, brand new to fitness. Do the warm-up, do the first circuit, do the legs, stop. And the next day, do the warm-up, do the second circuit, and then do the finishing exertion or legs. You guys are so used to it. Round 4, 10, right push. 20 on your pull, 10 left push, 25 V-ups. And if you're on round 5, awesome. Maintain motion, maintain lower increase load. You'll have the 5 right push, the last 20 on your pulling, the 5 left push, the 25 Supermans. And if you need to be done, you can be done. If not, finish off with either 100 more legs or 100 on your exertion. Or if you have time and energy, it's a great day to go to 5-10 minutes of cardio. It's a great day to stretch, right? These are great workouts to finish off with something stimulating, right? Or your body will respond to a nice, good stretch, a nice, good cardio, nourishing, right? Go spend time putting that body back together. Again, I'm going to do one more round with you. If you are not there yet, please don't log off. I'll be here with you. Talk about the recorded version. Round 5 is your 5 right push. Your last 20 pull, 5 left push, 25 Supermans. And then again, if you have time and energy, go sweat it out for a little bit or stretch. If you only have time for the 100 legs or 100 exertions, that's fine too. I'm a little bit ahead of you, good. Please don't be discouraged. It was all about when you started while I was talking about this circuit. Again, just so you hear it, that right side, round 4 was a 10, 20, 10, 25 V-ups. Round 5 was a 5, 20, 10, 25 Supermans. If you have time, do 100 legs or 100 exertions. If you have more time, go sweat it, go stretch it. And if you gotta go, just take a big deep breath, calm down before you leave the workout. Don't get off quickly. Take your time. Happy Wednesday. Good work today.